Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're pleased to welcome you at the webinar regarding the Kozminski University's Master in Finance and Accounting program. My name is Dmitro Sichuk. I'm Assistant Professor at the Department of Finance of Kozminski University. Joining me is the Vice Director of Kozminski International Business School and also the Coordinator and the Lead of the Master in Finance and Accounting program, Professor Pavel Mielcarz.
Welcome.
We would like to start with a brief presentation describing the key merits of the program, and afterwards we will proceed with the frequently asked questions. And we will be happy also to receive your questions either by email or by other social media in order to follow up on the today's presentation. So we will start with a brief description of the program as well as the university that's delivering the program. Kozminski University is one of the top business schools in the CEE region, administering the Master in Finance and Accounting program, which despite its relatively short history, has already been the recipient of the significant international acclaim. Kozminski University has the so-called Triple Crown of international accreditations, AACSB, EQUIS, and AMBA, as well as features in yearly Financial Times rankings. Right now, Kozminski University's Master in Finance and Accounting program is ranked 17th in the world in the Financial Times yearly ranking of pre-experienced Master in Finance programs, along with other graduate and executive business programs delivered by Kozminski University. The program is currently being administered in both full-time and part-time modes, and has been enjoying a growing internationalization. The share of the international students pursuing their Master in Finance and Accounting at Kozminski University has been steadily growing over the years, reaching about 80% as of this year's intake. Right now, the full-time Master in Finance and Accounting program hosts representatives of 19 nationalities. The part-time studies have the representative of 8 nationalities, and the foreign international students represent more than 80% of the students. The Master in Finance and Accounting program has been designed in close cooperation with industry strategic partners as well as with professional bodies administering the globally renowned professional credentials and certifications. In particular, as of right now, Kozminski University's Master in Finance and Accounting program is accredited by ACCA, meaning that the graduates of the program receive from 7 to 9 exemptions, depending on the chosen track, upon completion of their mandatory coursework. Additionally, the Kozminski University is participating in the CFA Institute University Affiliation Program, which attests that its current curriculum covers at least 70% of the CFA Institute's candidates' body of knowledge, which means that the mandatory coursework of the program is positioning students well to seat their CFA exams, enabling students to prepare for taking up a professional credential with a global acclaim while they're still at the university. Apart from that, Kozminski University is the only partner of Association of Chartered Alternative Investment Analysts, KAYA Association, in this region, which is the leading professional body in the domain of alternative investments. The KAYA certification means that the curriculum of the program is consistent with the candidate's body of knowledge of the Association of Chartered Alternative Investment Analysts and positions students well to sit the KAYA examination. Also, for both the CFA exams as well as for the CAIA exams, scholarships are available on a yearly basis, which are allotted to those willing to pursue those professional certifications while still at the university. Additionally, starting from this year, Kozminski University is the academic partner of Global Association of Risk Professionals, which is a globally renowned professional body uniting the specialists in the area of risk management and energy risk management. There is a significant package of benefits available to the students. There are 6 scholarships available on an annual basis to undertake the Financial Risk Manager exam. There are significant discounts to undertaking all the previously mentioned professional examinations. That means, first of all, we encourage students to pursue professional credentials in order to enhance their curriculum. The program helps them to delve into that while simultaneously having all the rigor of academic education. Additionally, we would like students to gain exposure to all areas of professional financial decision making, having a broad perspective of what the present age financial managers have to cope with. You can check the core curriculum of the program on the university's webpage. I would like to briefly summarize all the options that are available to the students during their stay at Kozminski University. During their 4-semester study, the students may pursue a number of valuable flexibility options in order to enhance both their on and off-campus experience. During the first 2 semesters, students are focused on doing their regular coursework. It's quite intensive, and afterwards, starting from semester 3, a number of flexibility options open up. In particular, already starting from 2nd semesters, all the students can participate in an international Erasmus exchange and go to any of the of about 200 partner universities to pursue at least 1 semester of studies there, right, as part of their international exchange. Starting from semesters 3, students, first of all, have to select their career track, their track, one of the 3 available academic tracks. In a moment, we'll tell more about those tracks. And starting from semester 3, the double degree options also open up. During the 4th semester, we expect students to start and pursue their internship as part of their core curriculum, or alternatively tailor their on-campus experience to their expected career path by choosing the appropriate electives from the academic offer of Kozminski University. A few words about the specializations. Right now, the students of the Master in Finance and Accounting program are expected to choose one of the 3 available tracks. The Corporate Finance track, which is aligned with the CFA Institute candidates body of knowledge and basically is intended to prepare students to sit for the CFA exams. The Corporate Reporting track, which is certified by ACCA and provides students who successfully complete all the mandatory coursework with additional 2 exemptions from ACCA exams. And also AML in International Banking track, which focuses on forensic consulting, risk management, compliance risks, anti-money laundering, and bank asset and liability management, basically covering the areas of the modern banking financial risk management. Each of the specializations yields 16 ECTS points maximum. Right. That means in case of the corporate finance and AML track, each subject yields 4 ECTS points. In case of the corporate reporting track, each of the 2 subjects yield 8 ECTS points. In case of the ACCA track, those students who successfully complete the coursework receive additional exemptions from the ACCA F6 exam, taxation, and F8 audit and assurance. Each of the career tracks, each of the available tracks has been designed in cooperation with industry strategic partners. Right now, Kozminski University has 3 strategic partners which regularly participate in the program council, making sure that the academic curricula stand to the current requirements of the job market. The CFA track, the corporate finance track, is delivered in cooperation with KPMG Poland. The corporate reporting track is delivered in cooperation with Accenture Poland, and the international banking track is delivered in cooperation with City Service Center Poland and Citibank Europe. The representatives of the industry strategic partners participate in the career event, contribute to the organizations of the career event, as well as provide valuable internship opportunities, which also have the necessary flexibility to allow students to accommodate the internships within their full-time studies. That means a group of students who will choose to pursue internships with the strategic partners may benefit from the additional flexibility of being able to pursue their internship while simultaneously studying full-time for their academic degree. The next set of available flexibility options is the double degree programs. Right now, the students of the Master in Finance and Accounting program have the possibility to participate in the double degree programs with 3 partner universities: Schema Business School, ASCA School of Management, as well as Porto University. In case of Schema Business School, students spend the first 3 semesters of their master studies doing regular coursework at Kozminski University, and afterwards go to Schema Business School for the 4th semester of their studies and to complete their master dissertation. After completing the required coursework and after completing the mandatory internship, which is a part of the core curriculum of both signatory institutions, the students will receive the degrees of both universities. That means Master in Finance and Accounting of Kozminski University and Master in Corporate Financial Management of Schema Business School. In case of ESCA School of Management, students spend the first 2 semesters of their studies at Kozminski University and afterwards go for another 2 semesters to ESCA School of Management to Angers. The 3rd semester is spent doing the regular mandatory coursework at ESCA School of Management, while the 4th semester is focused on pursuing an internship, which is not constrained to any specific geography. Finally, in case of the Porto University, the students will spend the first 2 semesters doing regular coursework at Kozminski University and the other 2 semesters doing regular academic coursework at the University of Porto. After defending their master thesis at both Kozminski University and University of Porto, the students will receive the Master in Finance and Accounting degree from Kozminski University and the Master in Science in Finance from University of Porto, which is a highly regarded academic institution in Portugal. The timeline of the double degree programs will be in the video, so you may pause to take a look at the details of the timeline of each of the respective degrees to get a grasp of how the workflow in case of each of the double degrees look like, as well as the credentials which you may expect to receive as part of your double degree program. Now, both Schema Business School and ESCA School of Management are grande école. They award the state-accredited higher education degrees in France. They also are both ranked in Financial Times, highly positioned in Financial Times. When in case of the Porto University is a highly regarded academic institution of high standing in Portugal with a very long academic history, enjoying prestige and international acclaim in Portugal, as well as globally. Now, apart from doing the regular academic coursework, students are actively encouraged to participate in extracurricular activities. In particular, students are encouraged to participate in CFA Research Challenge, in which Kozminski University has a proven track record of high performance. Apart from that, there is a set of other extracurricular challenges and competitions where students are encouraged to participate and receive the possible benefits stemming therefrom, ranging from corporate internships to monetary rewards or the recognition by the university authorities. So at all levels, the participation in those extracurricular activities is encouraged and supported by the faculty of the university. Finally, the question is, why should you choose Poland and Warsaw? Well, first of all, a thing to be underlined is that all the classes take place at one location, which is the Warsaw campus at Kozminski University. It's one place. There will be no need to travel around the town. When it comes to Warsaw, it's currently a fast-developing hub for business services, with many international businesses relocating their operations to Poland and therefore opening attractive career opportunities for international students, even without the knowledge of the Polish language. So the employment market is right now in a very good situation. There are plentiful opportunities to pursue internships, plentiful opportunities to undertake full-time positions. So overall, Warsaw might be a very good place to be at the present moment in view of the dynamic development of this region, right? And in view of the fact that Warsaw is becoming a hub for international businesses. Finally, if you'd like to receive more information or you have follow-up questions that you would like to send us, on this slide you may see all the contact details. That means all the emails to which you may write your questions to program coordinators. You may write to the dean. You may write to the other coordinators. You have the emails on the slide. When it comes to the admission procedures, you are encouraged to contact our admission officer. You can see both the phone details as well as the email address on the slide. You can also visit the KU's open days, or we regularly organize on-campus visits. And if you would like, you can also write us an email and arrange a meeting with a representative of the faculty in order to be able to ask your questions. Last but not least, please do not hesitate to subscribe to our social media channels. We are present in all the popular social media, so please feel free to also post your questions there. Also connect with other students, with the representatives of the student community as well as the faculty community, and ask your questions. In case you have any, we'll be glad to answer those. So this is it with the presentation. So probably now we'll open the Q&A session.
Yes, so based on the questions that you previously asked about the program or the university, we prepared a FAQ, list of frequently asked questions that we will ask now to the leaders of the program. And the first question is, what is the difference between the part-time and full-time programs?
Oh, that's the question. Interesting question, first of all. The full-time program is designed in this way that it covers all of the necessary subjects, courses which are required by the ACCA, CFA, and KAIA associations. At the same time, the part-time studies are organized in the same way. So it means the same semesters, we have the same courses, the same subjects. And the main difference is that students on the part-time studies, they have a bit more to do in terms of the self-studies. So the exams are on the same level, the ECTS points are the same, but students, they need to, they have less number of hours, they're around 20%. So we have something which we call self-studies and more requirements in terms of the self-studies. But what is important, each time the students, they find an internship or they find a job, they can switch into part-time studies. So we started with the part-time studies to open more opportunities for students who want to, let's say, apply during the studies to corporations here in Warsaw to start also their career. But the program is the same, but more courses, the more contact hours we have on the full-time studies, less contact hours on the part-time studies, exam levels is the same. So it means students, they have to cover more materials at home.
And also the part-time students benefit from all the academic and extracurricular benefits that stem from the program's accreditations and the program's cooperation, both with its industry partners as well as with the professional bodies. So,
and also what is important, they can go also for double degrees. So students, part-time students, sometimes they prefer to start to gain some professional experience during the studies, so they prefer to start as a part-time students, but then they decide to go for exchange in the fourth semester or to go for the so-called double degree, so they also have the opportunities. But what is important is the flexibility. If you find something interesting, like for example, interesting internship, and it requires to be involved in the, let's say, professional life all the week, so it means that they can switch into part-time studies.
Okay, thank you. And second question, are there any scholarships available for candidates or students as part of the program?
Mm-hmm. So, as of right now, first of all, we provide the scholarships which are delivered by the professional body, so to pursue the professional certifications and exams. In particular, every year we have a limited pool of scholarships for taking up the CFA examination, CFA Level 1 examination, which discount the registration fee and the examination fee substantially. We have 8 scholarships for CAIA exams for the Chartered Alternative Investment Analyst credential. We have a limited pool of scholarship for a Global Association of Risk Professionals, as well as for, we have the Accelerate program for ACCA, which discounts the registration fee as well as the fees paid for exemptions of ACCA exams. Apart from that, there are scholarships available for academic excellence. That means students who successfully complete their semester of study, who successfully complete and have very high grade point average, may qualify contingent upon certain entry requirements for this for this scholarships may receive the scholarships covering part of the tuition during the next semesters. That means we don't offer the scholarships at the very start. So that means the scholarships are available for
Additionally, we have the scholarships from Kozminski Foundation, and the scholarship for the Kozminski Foundation will include also possibilities to get the scholarship from the start. So there will be a few available, but there are no regulations, exact regulations how to get it yet. But this is an additional option. So-called Kozminski Foundation will offer scholarships for best students during the studies, but also some scholarships on start. But we haven't got information yet.
What are the chances of getting stable employment without knowing the Polish language?
That's good question, and probably Warsaw at the moment it's one of the hottest places in terms of the employment for graduates without Polish. Plenty of companies they establish here middle offices and back offices. They started a few years ago with quite simple operations. Now they move also to Poland much more, let's say, complicated competences, like for example banks which are offering places in risk management, in credit risk management, in portfolio management. So Warsaw is benefiting at the moment from the fact that we have the I would say change of the places of operations from macroeconomics to Poland. So all of our students, I can say, or majority, maybe not majority, but 99% of our students, they're able to find jobs here in Poland. Majority of them, they want to stay in Poland during at least 2 or 3 years, because the career opportunities are much better than in other countries. Some of them, they decide to come back. So that doesn't mean that they have to stay in Poland, but staying in Poland after the graduation allows them to gain very attractive experience. As I mentioned, also the internships offer is huge here in Warsaw at the moment. For students of finance, like Citibank Europe offers 150 places, many of them our students are able to get. Goldman Sachs offers many internships, Accenture operations. So all of the internships are offered for students without Polish.
Another thing is that Kozminski University has a career development office, which is happy to assist students in preparing for the recruitment process, in preparing the CV, in finding a suitable internship or employment opportunities. So it's also might be a good chance to also.
Yeah, I would add also that we have the mentor program. The mentor program, we cooperate closely with our alumni of our Master in Finance and Accounting, and they also are involved in the process of assisting current students to find something interesting. So being part of our, let's say, Master in Finance and Accounting doesn't mean that you will also only experience the studies here, but you are also part of the community of graduates who are very successful on the job market. Many of them, they are in investment banking. Many of them, they are financial managers, financial analysts, both in Poland and outside Poland. So we are creating, let's say, a system in which our graduates are helping students to find something interesting on the level of internships or first job.
Can I finish my degree in 1 year if I'm able to manage all the classes?
No, it's not possible. You can take more courses. So it means after the first semester you have the option to take courses in advance, but it would be too difficult to take all of the courses in 1 year. It's absolutely not possible. Yeah, I see some flexibility, especially for very good students, to take some courses in advance, but it would be not possible in 1 year time.
Is the diploma recognized outside of Poland?
To be honest, it's a strange question. What does it mean it's recognized outside Poland?
I think the students mean here by if they, with our diploma, with the Kozminski University diploma, if they can find employment in other countries than Poland.
Other countries, of course. We have many examples of our graduates who they are employed in other countries. The position of Kozminski University allow us to cooperate with corporations, but also with top universities. As you can see, we have double degrees, exchange opportunities. So there is no problem at all to find a job also outside Poland. It of course depends on the positions. So it means, but there are no formal problems or merit problems which can, in any way to constrain our students in finding and continuing careers in other countries.
Do the professors or lecturers provide additional assistance to students without a background in finance?
Yeah, that's a very important question because for us, of course, it's important the quality of students, but also the diversity of the group. So what we do, we see the difference between students without background in finance and students with background in finance. It means bachelor degree, especially during the first semester of studies, when we have some courses which can be quite demanding for students without background in finance. So we are doing two things at the moment. The first one is that we have extra sessions at the beginning of semester, extra introductory session for students without proper background in finance to prepare them to the two courses, corporate reporting and advanced corporate finance. The second thing, which is important, we start from next year. So it means next year we start the program of evening classes for students who are not able to, well, it's not the good way of explaining it. They are able to cope, but they want to repeat some things because they are maybe too fast for them. We see that in the one cohort we have students which are very good. They want to gain more from the classes, and some of the students can feel a bit lost. So that's the reason why we introduce from the next academic year evening classes for those students. So there will be selected teaching assistants who will repeat the cases and examples provided during the course. And in this way, we want to address the needs of both groups, students with proper, I would say, background in finance and students without the background in finance. What is important, after the first semester, after the two regular courses, so it means advanced corporate finance and also corporate reporting, the differences between students without background in finance and with background in finance, they are, I would say, not as strong as at the beginning. So after the two courses, the students should be able to cope with other courses which are a bit more advanced.
What are the requirements for the students, actually, what are the criteria for students to get acknowledged for a double degree program?
Double degrees, well, they are offered after the first semester of studies. The students, they can apply for double degrees. It will be based on GPA, but also motivation letter and also achievements of the students during the first semester. Many of our students, they take part in CFA Research Challenge, also first year students. And when we see that student is active, his or her GPA is very good. So we can, of course, recognize also this. So 80% of it is GPA, but 20% is additional achievements of our students. And definitely we want to promote active students who participate in events, especially in CFA Research Challenge, because CFA Research Challenge is a very important part of our culture and of DNA of our master.
Are there any extra fees involved in the double degree programs?
No. So it means that students, they pay tuition fee at Kozminski University and they go to the free universities. I can also tell you some, not official information that we are going to expand the double degrees. So maybe we cannot confirm yet, but there will be more double degree opportunities in coming months.
As part of the admission process, there is an admission exam as well. And the students will wonder, how does the admission exam look like?
Dima or me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the admission exam is an online test that is been assigned to a candidate upon the receipt of the application, of the full application package. That means all the documents, and the admission office then confirms the receipt of the application package and then sends the link to the online test, which checks the cross-section of the candidate's knowledge across a range of domains of knowledge. in order to assure that, first of all, we get the best qualified candidates, and secondly, we get diverse qualified candidates. That means that at the same time, we make sure that the candidates are able to meet the academic requirements of the program, as well as that the class is sufficiently representative of the broad area of other domains, of other backgrounds. So the admission test checks quantitative skills. It's a GMAT type questions mostly. Secondly, it checks the broad knowledge in economics and the broad knowledge in finance, right? So that is, it's possible to get a very good grade by successfully passing the quantitative part. If you're of a different background and you do worse on the economics and finance section, it's still possible to get admitted if we see that the candidate has shown notorious skills in other sections of the test.
But there is important element. We also take into consideration GPA from your bachelor studies.
Yes.
Because when we see a candidate who is hardworking candidate and is able to deliver in long projects, because GPA from your bachelor studies shows how involved you were in the so-called long project, like getting the bachelor degree. So we also take into consideration. So it means 50% of the final assessment is your GPA from your bachelor studies, and 50% is that test. We accept students after a certain threshold of points, and you receive the information about if you are accepted or not immediately. So it doesn't mean, it means that you don't need to wait to the, I don't know, mid of June or July to get the information. You will receive the information immediately.
What kind of employment can I expect after finishing specific specializations of the program?
Well, as we mentioned, we have 3 specializations. The first one is corporate finance, the second one is international banking AML track, and the third one is corporate reporting. The titles of the specializations, it means the names of the titles, they betray also the possible career paths. In terms of the corporate finance, which is probably the most demanding in terms of the requirements of the marketplace, I would say that there are options in investment banking. We want to prepare qualified people for investment banking, also portfolio management, financial modeling, valuation of companies. So our graduates usually apply to big 4 companies, but also to small boutiques of investment banking, but also research departments of brokerage houses. To be honest, I have to be honest, in this area, this is the most competitive, let's say, specialization also on the marketplace. So we help students to find employment, but there are no companies which they, let's say, employ 25 people in this from this specialization. So we treat our students as projects in this case. So it means if somebody is good and wants to find a job in let's say, research department, we are trying to use our connections to maybe not find a job for the person, but to recommend the person. In case of international banking AML track, I would say that it's huge at the moment demand for specialists in this area. Our partners, so it's Citibank Europe, recruits hundreds of people, and among them also graduates of Kozminski University, but also other banks, Goldman Sachs, but also Pricewaterhouse. They have global hub of consulting activities in the area of AML and compliance here in Poland. The hub employs people without knowledge of Polish. So there are plenty of opportunities. For the corporate reporting, I would say Poland is also a perfect place because many of corporations, they moved accounting and management accounting activities to Poland. So I would say this is also, I would not say that one company employs two very huge number of candidates, but still there are plenty of them here in Poland.
And when do the students choose their specialization?
At the Well, it's in March, so it means at the beginning of second semester, they should choose the specialization, but the courses of the specialization would start from October next year, so it means during the first semester.
Do you provide any form of job placement?
Probably I answered the question. Yes, career office. The second thing, so it's very active. We have mentor program, as I mentioned, and also we work closely with our industry partners. Additional thing, it's the so-called closed LinkedIn space on which we connect our graduates of Kozminski University, MBA students of Kozminski University with the students of our master. We create many offers or many, let's say, paths in which students they can meet the future employer. Yeah, definitely we take responsibility for it. We know it that the placement is a very important thing, and also what I mentioned, Warsaw give us plenty of opportunities in this area.
The Master in Finance and Accounting program is on the 17th place in the world of the Financial Times ranking. But how does the ranking system work exactly?
Dima.
So the ranking of Financial Times is based on the two key parameters. The employability of the students, that means the percentage of the graduates which find the job placement within 3 months upon graduation, and the average salary of the graduates 3 years after the graduation. Those are the two crucial criteria which underlie the ranking and which measure the approximate the employability of the students and their competitiveness on the job market. So these are the two crucial parameters, and the school needs to perform well under both criteria in order to make it to the ranking. Right now, Kozminski University is the top-ranked school in its finance program in this region. It has been in the FT ranking, in the Master in Finance ranking by Financial Times for already 4 years, right? And during all those years, it has been occupying the place in the first among the top 20, right? In the top 20. So it has been a consistent performance scorecard measured by those two key parameters, which are approximating the competitiveness of the students on the job market. So that's the crucial criteria, and that's probably the objective function of the entire educational endeavor.
Especially in finance.
And the last question is, when is the application deadline for the program?
That's a good question. We don't have one day up to which we would like to. Okay, there is one day. It's the end of August. It's the day when you can apply. But the problem is that students from outside European Union, they need to also provide to receive visa. So it means that for students from outside European candidates from other countries than European Union, they should apply earlier. And there's another thing, we have limited number of places. And as I mentioned, students, they take the exam on the so-called FIFO basis. It means who is first is taking the exam. So we cannot exclude the situation that we have absolute number of students, sufficient number of students, and we cannot take more applicants earlier, because it was mentioned before, there is growing demand for the growing interest of this Master in Finance.
So thank you very much to the leaders of the program. Shortly, our students will join you also to have a short conversation about their experience here at Kozminski University and on the Master in Finance and Accounting program.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.